It is recording. All right, this is the buddy to the one that I just dried a few minutes ago. I dried him on video too, without any real discussion because I knew you wouldn't be able to hear me over it, but I'm going to use part of that video to show you as well. Before I start grooming anybody, even if they've been totally combed out in the back, I always comb them out here because you just never know what you're going to find. Sometimes I find knots. Sometimes I just find a spot that looks funky, skin-wise. You never know. So just to be on the safe side. And he's a real easy, fast, and in a hurry haircut. He's old and he don't like it, so he's going to stress a little bit. You're going to see some panting, but we're not endangering him in any way. And as you can tell, these are slack. Both the loops are slack. We'll get that up out of the way, so it's not in the pictures at all. It's my groomer's helper loop adjuster. This dog also has a problem with his penis staying in. So when you go to shave a belly, you have to be incredibly careful on dogs like that. It's one reason I enjoy combing and brushing out my dogs first, because you get to figure out little stuff like that. Before you get to them, you'll realize, oh shoot, he's stuck in the out position or things like that. Usually that happens, there's a deformity of the penile shaft and it's either too long, the penis is either too long for the shaft, or there's a problem with the shaft itself. Sorry, that was my husband's phone. Now, if you happen to hear the phone ring, I will not be answering it because we are not open today and I am doing this dog and that's all I'm doing. These two dogs, and then I'm going to call their mother to come and get them. I even like to comb out faces with my little comb, even if they're short, to make sure there's no eye gunk or anything that we may have missed, any food debris along the lip line, that kind of thing. All right, so he's ready. And we are 2.5 minutes in, so 2.5 minutes of combing, definitely worth the time. All right, and I am going to use my clipper back with my Bravura, so it may get a little bit loud, but it's not too bad because the back is in another room. There's the clipper. Ah, it's on the other table, along with my soda. All right. Come on, Versace. He does not hit poodle feet. I kind of wish he did so I could show you how easy they are to do with the back, but all is well. And I'm not going to shave his belly with the vac due to the penile shaft situation. But I am going to do like his tail band with it. And I can do faces with it, I just usually prefer not to. I don't know, there's just something about the idea of the vacuum being right around the face that bothers me. I'm going to have to lower this to be able to get to his back. We're using a yellow comb or a 0. Nope, we're going to drop down one. That's not short enough. I've only done him a couple of times, and his mom has just been the nicest person. And the one that he's with, I've never done before. So I'm excited. Now, if you'll notice, I'm kind of using short, sketchy motions. That's because the clipper back sort of requires you to do that. I have my suction turned down in the back via a controller that's actually built into my system. But clipper backs have usually got a valve here you can control too, and I prefer just enough suction to lift the hair. Some people really like a lot. I like just enough to lift the hair. I'm actually getting an incredibly true to length hair that way. The haircut will be almost the exact same as if I hadn't had the back on. It will be a negligible thing because of the amount of suction. Now he's already had his conditioning spray put in him before his bath. Excuse me, before his dry, after his bath. So there's not really going to need to be any put on him at this moment. Now I'm going to do his legs a little bit longer, and if you'll notice, I'm sort of blending down and in. I think every time I turn on a video camera in this place, there's a siren that goes off. Every time. We're on a major, off of one major road and on another major crossroads, and as a result, whenever there's an ambulance or a fire truck, they have to come down our road and get somewhere. Or at least it feels that way. And again, not open, so the phone can ring. Versace. Bless you, dear. And underneath, I go in reverse. And the reason I do that is it's like making it just a smidge shorter and just to get it cleaner. So now I'm only going to go one comb longer on the legs, but it's going to just make them look a little more full and give it a little more, I like the word texture, I guess. A little more texture, a little more definition, a little more style. Persistent, whoever they are. I don't have any appointments until Thursday anyways. People are not going to be happy this week because Billy and I are both going out of town, and that means we're very limited on our spacing in here this week. So we're going to be pushing appointments over till next week, unfortunately. Okay. One of the reasons I enjoy working with the vac is that it cuts my grooming time dramatically. Because there's not going to be a need to back brush, there's not going to be a need to just, continuously go over an area. You can usually go over it once, maybe twice, and then it's done. I'll be so glad when I get to trim those ears at the end of this haircut too. I left them long last time because that's what she said she wanted, and she came back in and said, can't handle it, so we're going to take them down some. I really wish the phone would stop doing that. I have no idea what to do to make it happen. If anybody knows how to stop that autofocus, let me know. There's got to be a setting on an Android somewhere. I just can't find it. So anyway, there we go. Drop down the comb, and I use it on the underarm area and just slightly down the back of the leg. And I'll show you over here what I just did. Just right in here. Right there, that area, and slightly down the back of the leg. And the reason for that is that's going to be less you have to scissor. It's right like that and skin it. Turn him around. And right through here, I'm just going to give him a little bit of angulation. Not a whole lot, because it's a pet trim, but everybody deserves a good bit of style in their lives. Just that little bit. Chuck, will you bring me a phone so I can see who that is? Because they are being really persistent.
Wireless caller.
No, I'm not going to answer it, but that's okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if it might be his mother again. Still some more. Alright, and now he's ready to be finished up. I've already done his nails. I did them while he was in the tub because I know he can be difficult about them, and I was able to distract him somewhat by him being in the tub. And now the phone's off the hook, so that won't happen again. Alright, turn around, babe. And yes, I'm starting with the feet because I want to be able to bring my legs up from my feet. Some people start at the leg and bring them down in. I like to do it the exact opposite sometimes. It just depends on the dog. But in his case, I'm going to set my feet and then worry about my leg. Because he's kind of uncomfortable, I'm just going to walk around rather than move him. It's easier to do that than to fight with one to make them do what you need them to do. And I do want them to be comfortable as much as possible. I personally hate getting my hair done because I hate sitting in a chair and being handled. So I understand how they feel. All right. Scissor down into my foot. And that helped a lot to have the foot already set for that. And all you really have to do is hit the high spots. There's absolutely no reason to do anything except hit high spots that you see. Again, leg down into the foot. Scissor that belly line. I'm going to go ahead and undo this. One thing to remember when you're doing dogs with a rear loop on is to take it off and scissor it in or clipper it in, because sometimes we forget to do that until we're putting the dog in the cage and go, oh crap. Versace, chill out, dude. Nobody hurting you. His mom says he hates this whole process. I can tell. And I don't even know if hate's the right word. I just think he's unhappy. He's been here all weekend, and I think he just would like to go home. Right, buddy? Goodness gracious. Thank you. All right. And just to show you, when I comb up, there's nothing popping. There's no reason to go back and do much. Nothing at all popping. A little bit on the back of that leg, but that's it. One reason I love my clipper back. I get a lot accomplished really quickly and then have very little scissoring to do. Okay, buddy, turn around. Let's get the other side. Let's just double check it all. Let's check our work. Good job. All right. Now, normally I would do these last, but I'm going to go ahead and do them now because they're kind of in my way. And Mom wants a good inch off. No, no, no. Hold them like that, and then I let them hang. And I'm going to take my chunkers and go back over them just to soften them, but there we go. Head up. Pretty good. They're even about level. Not too bad. All right, now there is a high spot right there that I wouldn't have seen, except that I happened to turn just right and it hit the walls. That's one reason why my walls are not white. They're actually an off-white. They allow me to see the dogs that are white against them, and I can pick up high spots. There was one right inside that back leg that I couldn't see too. But because you can see them when you look against the wall, it works. And I am putting myself into positions that I would not normally put myself into just to be able to keep the video camera steady and not obstruct your view. Normally I wouldn't be this much of a contortionist. And I'm probably going to pay for it later. But, okay, that's the most of your work right there. Good job, thank you. I like to tilt the leg up just a smidgen in that armpit hair. Like I said, I took it shorter with the comb. Uh-oh, don't slide. But I wanted to get it just like that. Okay, now we got to shave your face, buddy. There is a reason why the equipment is still on my table. And that's because it all has to be sanitized in between him and another dog. And I like to keep it isolated. Usually there's a basket on the table with the stuff in it, but this is not my station. This is Billy's, and he doesn't have one. He says it gets in his way. I prefer it to loose equipment on the table, personally. I will move my basket out here before I start on the next dog, too, let me tell you that. She wants under his eyes extremely close, so I'm using a 30 there. The rest of the face is being done with a 15 because he doesn't irritate. And I should clarify, the rest of the muzzle, the snout, if you will, along the lip line and up to the nose is being done that way. The cheeks are going to be done with a 10 blade backwards. But I'm using a 15 backwards under the eye, from basically the corner of the eye to the nose. Because that's the area that gets the dirtiest. And it's also the area that I find owners really like shortest. This dog also for some reason, is eating canned food. And as a result, his ears had to go shorter, and his face being shorter will definitely help her out. She's an older woman, probably 70. And this will just make her life a lot easier. And I'm getting the hair that's inside the ear canal while we're at it. He doesn't have much ear hair. You know my status on ear, or my thoughts on ear hair plucking anyway, so I don't do it very often. It almost has to be an emergency, like the hair is severely matted or something in order for me to do it, but I will clipper it all out with no problem. I set the clipper on a 40 usually and just get right up to the ear canal like that. And then just down in it and get whatever's hanging out. Later I'll go in with scissors if I need to and cut out whatever's left. And I know it's hard to see on some of this, but maybe you're learning something. Maybe you're figuring out you want a clipper back. That would be nice, huh? Alright, and then I'm going to use a shortcut on his top knot. He does not get a crest of any sort. He has basically just a top knot. That's how he came in here. And she has said because he wears a collar, she does not want to have a crest because she does not want it to get matted. So I'm going to take the light purple or the next comb up from his legs. And I'm not touching the skull. I'm shaping. I have this set on a 40. You could use the back if you wish. I usually do, but because I want to talk to you about how I'm doing it, I'm not. I am literally sculpting. I am drawing a line where I wish it to be. And I'm going to do the same thing up. Again, I am shaping this. It is basically just skimming. I am not taking it all the way down to the scalp. That would be a very weird shape. He's got, like most poodles, he's got some deep indentations on either side, and he's actually very shallow sculpt, so if I were to do that, it would be gone. There would be no top knot. And then I'm going to set my ears in. First, let me see if I can do that facing you. All right, buddy. That's why I hate to leave equipment on the table. That was a bravura. So, it's quite possibly got a broken blade on it at this point, but it's okay. And again, she really wants over his eyes real short. Normally I would leave a slight ledge, but she does not want that. We had a very long conversation about what she did not want when she came in, because she's had so many problems with so many people grooming this dog. Not in this town, because she's new here. But wherever she moved here from, she used to have a whole lot of problems getting her dog done the way she wanted it. People wanted to do it the way they wanted and not the way she wants. I'm trying to do what she's after. Now if you lift your ear back, you can see here that there's hair, and that needs to be done like that. And I always pull the ear forward and get this hair back here. Be careful not to get the ear hair, just get the neck hair, and then blend that down at an angle. Repeat on this side. Get your line nice and clean and tight. Don't turn. And then right through there. You want to make sure you get that, but again, don't get the ear hair. When I get into my neck area down here, I take my shears and angle it into the hair so that it's tight where my clipper line is, but then it blends down into the body. Oh, that was silly. And then I will do my head probably 2 more times, making sure that we do blend into the body and that there's not just this big head and then a body. You don't want a distinct line there. So even though there's not a crest, there is a blend line. So maybe it's like a mini crest. Yeah, I would say this hair is slightly longer, but not enough that she's going to notice. Only a groomer would know the difference. And I'm actually really happy with this. And one more real quick brush out. Got to do your tail. I don't like my line over this ear, right through there. Details, details. Just pay attention. And he has a little bit of a congestive heart failure issue, which is another reason why I'm so glad I have the clipper back, because I can get him done really quick and not have to worry about it. His tail is super short. It's like an awful lot of them, it's really very short. So I'll comb it, kind of swing it around a little bit, and just shape it. We're growing it out because apparently 2 visits ago I've only done the dog twice, so right before I did him, somebody shaved it off. My guess is it was matted slightly, which it almost always is, because when they're this short, they sit on them and they will rub them. And anyway, we're just about at the length that I want it. And then I will comb it down. Oh, good job. Since you shook, now I can go look at your head again. Anyway, by combing it down towards the anus right in there, I can get that shorter so that it will not get to be as matted. I think we're about where we want it right now. It also helps to do this with pictures or video, because then you can actually see what it is you're doing. I can actually look at it in the camera and go, yep, that's the shape I was after. And it's almost there. Good job, buddy. Some people twist the hair on the tail. I've never had any luck doing that. They do the same thing with ears, and again, I've never had any luck doing that. Besides that, if you do that, it tends to shorten it, especially ears. Lisa Levy has a heck of a story on that. I'm actually kind of glad that that's fallen out of favor, because it was a technique I really never had a lot of luck with, and I hated trying to explain to people how to do it. So, now that he has shaken, let's see in the camera, it's actually still pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it. Let's see, right there. Stop, stop, stop. I know, Brian just came in the door. That's okay. There we go. That's Versace. 27 minutes, including 2 minutes of comb out time. Not too shabby. What you doing, Versace? I know, we're going to shave your belly, but we're going to do it off camera just because. Good job.